What are you on about?
Somebody asked again how we met.
I've already answered that. I told them we met when I was a male dancer.
Yeah, and I answered it and told them that was not true.
Yeah, it was. It was back when I was dancing with the Cabbage Patch Kids. No, I danced with a Southern male review called Biscuits and Gravy, and that's how we met.
It is not.
No, seriously, what did you put?
I told him.
Told him what?
I told him how we met.
What did you tell him?
I told him we met on Match.com and our first date was going to get a pedicure together.
Nobody gonna believe that.
Okay.
No, seriously, what'd you put?
Oh, I really told him that we met on Match.com.
And you told him that we went and got a pedicure?
Yes, that was our first date. Why would I not tell them the truth?
Technically, our first date was a pedicure and Waffle House.
They were separated by 7 or 8 hours.
It's the same day. All right, guys, answer this for me. If you have a rendezvous and you meet somebody and you do something like, let's just say hypothetically, get a pedicure, and then you deconvene for a little while, and you diverge and you go your separate ways, and then later on that day you get back together and do something like, say, Waffle House, is that considered one date or two? I'm saying one. What do you got?
A lot of times you say two.
I think it's one. I think it's one date.
Well, and then
do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up if you think it's a one date, and comment below if you think it's, actually just comment below.
You count
either
it
way.
as two because we were at the Waffle House for so long, it was even after midnight, so it was a different day.
Okay, so it's a date and a half.
Whatever.
And when are you not at Waffle House where you roll past midnight?
And
That's kind of how it works.
that you skimmed over the whole pedicure thing.
I didn't skim over it.
You skimmed.
I didn't skim over anything.
You're like,
hey, I ain't scared.
That.
I'm sitting in a chair with a woman with a low-cut shirt on her knees in front of me, rubbing my feet. I mean, just saying.
I'm glad Chad met him a keeper. He is a hell of a good dude, and I wish y'all the very best. Put that video out.
Thanks, Chad. What video?
I guess to tell that we met it.
Oh, yeah. We're actually doing that like right now. Yeah, I hooked up with Chad and went down to Louisiana and fished with him. He lives right on the Texas. He lives right on the Texas-Louisiana border. Unfortunately, we had some really tough conditions. And
is that the time it rained?
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Like biblical. But it was like a weird high-pressure system just the day before. He's a real good dude. I'm actually getting back down there and fishing with him soon. What else we got?
You could take me fishing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I can maybe squeeze that in. What else we got on the questions for Kristie?
Explain how to walk the dog.
Do you even know what that means?
Well, I was going to say, well, when I get Lulu out, I put her on the leash and I take her outside, but I don't think that's what they were talking about. So here's what I think. I think that walking the dog is where you stand up and you have a crankbait and you throw it out and you kind of hop it back and forth like walking the dog.
Well, no. A crankbait is not even in the neighborhood of walking the dog. So walk the dog is basically a top water presentation. I don't have one right here handy, or I would show you.
Because actually, hold on. Your dash.
Actually, hold on.
Wait.
No, look at this. Uh-oh.
It's all hooked in next to my leg.
Let me see here if I can get it unhooked. Okay, I can't get it unhooked. I got a skitter walk I was going to show you. Walk the dog is basically where the lure walks back and forth. And it's called walking the dog because if you're holding a leash, a dog's always running to this side and to that side. So what you do is you snatch, give, and the snatch gets the lure going. And when you give it slack, yeah, exactly. When you give it slack, it makes it turn sideways because of the resistance of the line in the water. And then the next snatch, it goes the other way. So you get your timing where it's like snatch, reel, give, snatch, reel, give, and it's like a chukka, 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 chukka. And so that whole walk the dog looks like an injured bait fish going across the surface. It creates a disturbance, and bass can't stand it. Matter of fact, bass, redfish, flounder, speckled trout, the walk the dog, muskie, the walk the dog technique is huge. And so here's the deal. I'll show you how to tie the knot. It's called a loop knot. Some people call it a king sling, but the number one, the most important thing, in my opinion, to get a good walk the dog action is you got to have the right style bait. But the other thing is you need to tie a loop knot, which allows the lure head to articulate. The other mistake that I see a lot of people making to try to throw walk the dog, or to try to perform walk the dog style presentations, is they use fluoro. And the problem with fluoro is that it sinks down into the water. And when you use fluoro and it sinks in the water, it kind of causes the lure to dig and bury, and even pulls it underwater sometimes. So you don't get a really good walk the dog unless you hold your rod tip up out of the water with fluorocarbon. So I throw mostly braid, like we talked about. It gives me better casting distance, less wind resistance, low stretch, better hook sets, all that stuff. But I tie in a leader, and when I'm throwing walk the dog style patterns, I use a monofilament leader because it's buoyant, it stays up on the surface. If I have a fish blow up and I want to stop the lure, or if I want to let it sit still, I can stop it and the line doesn't sink down, and when I get ready to set the hook, I got to pull that line up out of the water. So walk the dog for me, the number one key is to not use sinking line, to use the right action rod. If you're standing up, a 6'9", medium power, moderate action is the ticket. I do a lot of sitting down in the kayak, so I actually throw most of my top waters on a 7'6", or even 7'11" rod with an extra fast action, and I just work it vertical. And then that way when the fish blows up on it, I can give it the line back, let it load the rod, and then set the hook. So
do you think I should use a shorter rod since my arms are so much shorter than you?
actually it'd be the other way around. I think you should use a longer rod to get more leverage. But we'll talk about line take up, hook sets, and some of that other stuff in another video.
Hey baby, here's a question that says, what's your height and weight? And then he says that he's 6'5" and 320. He just wanted to know if the kayak would be the same size that he needs. Can he ask me how much I weigh?
You know he's talking about me, right?
Wait.
I don't think he's asking you.
Hold on.
Let's look at the scenario here.
It says questions for Kristie.
Right, but he's basically saying you.
Oh, is he using me
like as me? Because he's trying to say you're pretty close to my size, which I'm 6'2", and I am right now 270. So I've been as heavy as 325, 321. So yeah, I'm pretty close. The Wilderness Systems Attack, Ride 135, or the Commander all are pretty sufficient for that weight. So yeah, man, you can definitely use. Who was that?
William Hunter.
William Hunter. So a shout out to William Hunter. Yeah, if you're a big dude like me, that's why I use those kayaks in my videos, is so you can see that I'm the poster boy for big boys can paddle little boats. And she's 5 foot, about 195, 200.
Shut up.
What's next?
What's my confidence bait, and what technique would I like to try next?
You want me to answer that one for you?
No, I can tell when I like
her confidence bait's whatever I hand her, because as soon as I hand it to her, she's automatically confident
that I'm going to catch fish.
That she's going to catch fish. What she doesn't realize is she is not excluded from the use of the buddy lure. So click in the description box below and you'll see the link for my buddy lure, and you'll see why sometimes
I've seen that show. Do you do that to me?
You'll see why sometimes Kristie's not catching as many fish as I am.
I thought it was because I wasn't fishing right.
Sometimes it is. Most of the time it is. But sometimes you're just a victim of paying your dues and learning the hard way. Do me a favor, make sure at some point in the near future you take somebody fishing and you make them a victim of the buddy lure. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all continuing to tune in. This is questions. This is a tongue twister. Who came up with this? Questions for Kristie.
I think it was your marketing department.
On the miles between. It's that. back left quadrant of my brain.
Right.
Anyway.
The hypothalamus.
Give us a big thumbs up if you like it. As always, please comment below. And thanks for tuning in to Kayak Bassin TV and this girl. Hey, here's the thing. I'm heading down to Florida. I'll be gone for about a week. I don't know exactly when all of these videos are going to come out, but here's the deal. I've got some really cool, talented musicians, some really well-known fishermen, some other family members, some other YouTubers that are actually going to start saddling up in Kristie's seat for the miles between. So you guys tune in and do me a favor, comment below and tell me who you'd like to see in the passenger seat for the miles between. Both people that you want to learn from and somebody you just think it'd be fun to hear me cutting up with.
And sometimes just me.
Well, I mean, you'll be here a lot. And sometimes she'll just get demoted to the back seat.
Wanted to know what some of my pet peeves about you are on road trips.
She doesn't have any, and if she does, she doesn't have any yet. So we're gonna just cut the video right there, and we'll be back. We'll be back with more questions for Kristie on the miles between.